Hello, Growing Faith Fellowship. My name is Unique Gale, and I am giving our devotion for today. I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm coming from 2 Chronicles 34, verse 2, and it states that he did right in the sight of the Lord and walked in the ways of his father David. He did not turn aside from the right hand or to the left hand. Now, the reason I chose this specific verse is because I've been in the Old Testament for a while now, and during this fasting season, as I've been reading, I have seen this pattern emerge when you're reading like 2 Chronicles or even in 1 Kings, 2 Kings. But specifically in Chronicles, they have this very unique pattern on how they structure their chapters, especially in terms of how they talk about the kings, right? And it's because it's a historical rendering. They're trying to give you a clear picture of what was going on, what happened, and why it happened. So part of that structure is they name the king, and then they state whether or not they were doing right in the sight of the Lord, good or bad, and then they grade them. They say whether or not they were found to be good, whether they brought good to Israel, Judah, or they did not. So the king that they're talking about here is King Josiah, which is one of the last good kings as far as Old Testament is concerned. King Josiah came to be at 8 years old and had the support of the prophets because of the fact that he tore down all the idols that were in Judah that was allowed back in. He had tore down all the temples that were built up for idols. He completely purged Israel and Judah of all those false gods and reinstilled the practices that they were supposed to follow, including going and looking for the book of law because it had been lost, finding it, and then gathering the people to say, here's what we are going to do. We are going to go back to the way it was, which is a complete turn from his father and grandfather who did not do these things. Now, what resonated to me is, as I was kind of researching it a little bit, when these things are happening, the Levites actually move the Ark of the Covenant, which represents God, out of the temple. So Solomon's temple in all its glory, even though it had been desecrated by all these idols, the Levites eventually, because now the space is unclean, would move God out, right? So these idols are moved in, God is moved out. And because of that, everything is falling apart. So I encourage you during this fasting time to invite God back into these spaces that we are cleaning out, right? Because that's what fasting does. Fasting allows us to actually move all these false idols out. And for us, false idols tend to be distractions. They tend to be the cares of this world. They tend to be fleshly things, including like, what am I going to eat or drink today? So my encouragement to you again, as we're moving things out, I also encourage you to move God into those spaces, because that's what's going to actually keep us satiated and satisfied. Israel prospered after this change. Israel became what it used to. It became that shining light again. And for us, what I'm recognizing as I am fasting, the times when I am getting hungry, the times where I am kind of feeling like, ooh, I just want to eat something, that if I pause and actually find a scripture to read, if I pull out my phone and listen to a sermon, if I turn on some worship music, if I just pause and pray and ask God to be with me in this moment, I'm recognizing that that is actually helping me get through it. And that's because as I am killing the flesh by moving things out of the way, I'm also inviting him into that space, and he is doing what he said he would do, right? As the bread of life, he's fulfilling. So I encourage you today with this song that actually I have been listening to, which has helped me create this devotion. And it's by Jonathan McReynolds. It's called Make Room. So I'll just give you the first verse. And it is, I make space for what I treasure. I make time for what I want. I choose my priorities. In Jesus, you're my number one. So I will make room for you. I will prepare for you so that you don't feel that you can't live here. Please live in me. May He live in us today. See you soon.